Hello dear students. In today's class, we will be understanding how do acids and bases react with metals, how do acids react with metal carbonates and metal hydrogen carbonates, and what is the action of acids with bases and so on. We will begin with this, that is the activity or the action of acids with metals. Here is an activity 2.3, and here is a diagram related to that. The diagram on the board is important from the examination point of view. In activity 2.3, it is said to set the apparatus as shown in the figure. What we will do is, we will add some 5 ml of dilute H2SO4 sulfuric acid to a test tube, and we will drop a few zinc granules to this. We will observe that the reaction is taking place. As the reaction proceeds, we observe some gas bubbles start emerging. We need to test what kind of gas bubbles are this. So what we will do is, the gas bubbles are to be passed through this delivery tube leading to the soap solution in a container, and here is a container containing soap solution, and these gas bubbles, when they come in contact with soap solution, we observe soap bubbles filled with some gas. We need to test what kind of gas bubbles are this, what these bubbles contain in them. So we will bring a burning candle near these bubbles. We will observe that burning of hydrogen gas with a pop sound. We'll observe pop sound, and this pop sound ensures that the gas here emerged is hydrogen. So in the reaction of dilute sulfuric acid with the metal, with the zinc granules, hydrogen gas was evolved. Is this clear to you? So what can we conclude out of this? We can conclude that the acids react with metals to give hydrogen gas. So in the activity, we are asked to repeat the activity with some more acids like HCl, HNO3 and CH3COOH. We will observe the same emergence of hydrogen gas. So this activity makes it clear that acids contain hydrogen, or acids upon reacting with metals generate hydrogen. Is this point clear to you, students? So acids generate hydrogen on reacting with metals is what we see in the activity. Now what we will do is, we will write a equation related to the activity. Before that, we will write a general equation. So the general equation for this goes like this: acid plus metal gives rise to, what we saw is the emergence of hydrogen gas. Along with that, we will observe the formation of salt. First is action of acid. Acids with metals. So we will write a general equation: acid plus metal. What we saw was emergence of hydrogen gas, and along with this we see the formation of salt. This is supposed to be the general equation, and we will write the equation related to the activity. In the activity, we took dilute sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4, and the metal taken was zinc. Now we know that hydrogen gas will be evolved, and along with that salt, the salt is supposed to be ZnSO4, that is zinc sulfate. Check whether the equation is balanced. H2SO4 and Zn all are balanced. The equation is balanced, and this is zinc sulfate. We will write down some more equations taking some other acid. H2SO4 is done, and we will take down HCl. Here zinc granules was in the form of solid and H2SO4 in aqueous state. We'll also mention it. Aqueous solution of dilute H2SO4 was taken, and the salt formed, zinc sulfate is the salt formed, that is also aqueous in state, and hydrogen is gaseous hydrogen was evolved. So further we'll write HCl plus Zn gives rise to H2 gas, and the salt will be ZnCl2, zinc chloride, ZnCl2, that is zinc chloride. Check whether the equation is balanced. If not, we need to balance the equation. Hydrogen is not balanced, so I need to put 2 here. With this, chlorine also got 2 and Cl2 Zn. Now the equation looks balanced, right? Check it out. Yes. And further, we'll try with another acid, that is HNO3. HNO3 is nitric acid plus zinc gives rise to hydrogen gas is evolved, and along with that the salt formed is zinc nitrate, ZnNO3 twice, zinc nitrate. Check whether the equation is balanced. Is this balanced? No, we need to balance it because yes, plus H2. Hydrogen is not balanced. To balance hydrogen, I'll put 2 here, and further nitrogen is 2, oxygen 2 into 3 is 6, and 2 into 3 is 6. Now the equation looks balanced, right? Yes, now it is balanced. I'll also write the equation for another acid, that is taking acetic acid. Acetic acid is CH3COOH, CH3COOH plus Zn gives rise to hydrogen gas, and the salt formed will be zinc acetate, right? Check whether the equation is balanced. So in order to balance the equation, I'll write 2 here, and the name of the salt is zinc acetate. This is all about activity 2.3, and from the activity we got to know that acids on reacting with metals generate hydrogen gas. Is this clear to you? Further, in activity 2.4 we are asked to repeat the same, taking sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is base. What happens when bases react with metals? So now we understood how acids react with metals. What about bases? Bases also react in a similar fashion, that is, they also generate hydrogen gas. Base, or to be more specific, we can write alkali. Alkali is base dissolved in water. Base that dissolve in water referred to as alkali, plus metal gives rise to salt and hydrogen gas. We'll let an equation related to this. NaOH is alkali plus Zn. The salt formed will be zinc, sodium zincate, Na2, ZnO2 plus H2. So the name of the salt is sodium zincate. Sodium zincate. Check whether the equation is balanced. Na is not balanced. Zn O2, O is supposed to be 2 both the sides, and H. So in order to balance it, if I put 2 here, the equation looks balanced. Is this clear to you? So we go to know both acids and bases react with metals to give salt and hydrogen gas. Further, we will understand how do metal carbonates and metal hydrogen carbonates react with acids. Metal carbonates and metal hydrogen carbonates. Metal carbonate plus acid. I am writing the general equation. Metal carbonates react with the acid to give salt, water and carbon dioxide gas. So this is a general equation, and here is another activity, activity 2.5. We will write the corresponding chemical equations to this. The metal carbonate here is sodium carbonate Na2CO3, and the acid that is taken in the activity 2.5 is HCl, hydrochloric acid. So upon reacting with the dilute hydrochloric acid, a salt is formed. The salt formed is NaCl, that is sodium chloride, plus water and CO2, carbon dioxide in its gaseous form, water in its liquid state, and NaCl in its aqueous state, hydrochloric acid obviously aqueous in state, and Na2CO3 was solid. Na2CO3 plus HCl gives rise to salt, that is NaCl is the salt obtained, water is H2O, and carbon dioxide in its gaseous state was formed. We can take down some more examples to this. See, if you know the general equation, you can add any number of equations taking some other metal carbonates and some other acids as well. So we'll write one more example related to this. K2CO3. Hope you know the names. Na2CO3 is sodium carbonate, right? Sodium carbonate, hydrochloric acid, sodium chloride, water and carbon dioxide. K2CO3 is potassium carbonate. Potassium carbonate plus HCl gives rise to potassium chloride, KCl plus H2O plus CO2. We can take down another acid, K2CO3 with H2SO4. You can complete the equation. Potassium carbonate reacting with sulfuric acid. This is potassium carbonate reacting with sulfuric acid. Complete the equation. Check whether the equation is balanced. Na2CO3 plus HCl, is the equation balanced? Na is 2 here and here is 1. Sorry, 2 on this side and 1 on right hand side. Carbon and oxygen we need to balance. So putting 2 here, will it balance the equation? Check out now whether the equation is balanced. Na2 and 2 here, carbon is 1 and 1 there, oxygen is 3 atoms of oxygen, 2 plus 1 is 3, right? Hydrogen and chloride, chlorine, 2 and 2, yes, now it's balanced. And similarly K2, I need to put 2 here. Now in order to balance chlorine again, I need to put 2 here. Now the equation looks balanced. In a similar fashion, we will write down the equation. When a potassium carbonate reacts with sulfuric acid, the salt we obtain is K2SO4, and with that it's obvious that CO2 and CO2 gas is evolved and H2O is formed. K2SO4, what is K2SO4? K is potassium, S is sulfate, so potassium sulfate. Potassium sulfate is the salt obtained. Check out whether it is balanced. K2 and carbon is also balanced. Oxygen is 3 plus 4 is 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, the equation looks balanced. So is this clear to you? It was simple. Metal carbonate reacting with acid gives rise to salt, water and carbon dioxide. We need to check out whether the gas evolved as carbon dioxide or not. And you know the simple test for this, right? Passing carbon dioxide gas or the gas which is formed through lime water, what happens? It turns milky due to the formation of white precipitate, that is calcium carbonate. We'll write it down later. Now we'll understand what happens when metal bicarbonates or metal hydrogen carbonates react with acids. Now metal bicarbonates or metal hydrogen carbonates metal hydrogen carbonate upon reacting with acid gives rise to salt, water and carbon dioxide. We'll write the equations to understand better. We'll start with this. NaHCO3. What is NaHCO3? Sodium bicarbonate, right? Sodium bicarbonate, and a dilute HCl will give rise to a salt. The salt obtained is NaCl plus water in its liquid state and carbon dioxide in its gaseous state. This is aqueous state. Sodium, hydrogen, carbon is also balanced, oxygen is also balanced. So the equation is balanced. We need not balance the equation. So this is all about sodium hydrogen carbonate. We'll write some other examples related to this. I'll write potassium bicarbonate upon reacting with HCl. Hope you know to complete the equation and also balance the equation. From this, what we can conclude is whether it is metal carbonate or metal bicarbonate, metal hydrogen carbonate, they react with acid to generate salt, water and carbon dioxide. I was telling you something about testing carbon dioxide gas. It's a very simple test. What happens is we need to pass the carbon dioxide gas or the gas evolved through calcium hydroxide, CaOH twice, lime water or calcium hydroxide, right? Plus CO2. What happens? It turns milky due to the formation of calcium carbonate, CaCO3 plus water. CO2 was in gaseous state. CaOH twice, that is calcium carbonate with carbon dioxide gives rise to a white precipitate of calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is a white precipitate and that is the reason we have mentioned S here, that is solid white precipitate. So it turns milky due to the formation of calcium carbonate, a white precipitate. What happens when excess of it is passed? CaCO3 plus H2O. What happens when excess of carbon dioxide is passed to it? We obtain CaH CO3 twice. What is this? What is this? CaHCO3 twice is calcium bicarbonate soluble in water, and that is the reason we have mentioned aqueous here. Check whether the equation is balanced. Calcium is balanced. Carbon is 2 here, and here also we obtain 2. Oxygen is 3 plus 1 4 5 6. 3 2s are 6. Yes, the equation is balanced. Further, we need to understand how do acids and bases react with each other. This is interesting. How do acids and bases react with each other? What happens? Acids react with bases to form salt and water. Acid reacting with base generate salt and water, and this is what is referred to as neutralization reaction. Neutralization reaction. Here is an interesting activity, students. We will perform this activity, and after that we will understand what is this neutralization reaction. Neutralization reaction is simple. The reaction of an acid with base gives rise to salt and water, and this type of reaction, or this reaction, is told to be neutralization reaction. Dear students, here is an activity which reveals what happens when acids and base react with each other. So, we will perform activity 2.6. I have taken a test tube, and to this test tube I am supposed to add some 2 to 3 ml of dilute sodium hydroxide solution, NaOH solution. Dilute NaOH solution, and I need to add 2 drops of phenolphthalein solution to this. So this is phenolphthalein indicator, a colorless indicator. I'll add 2 drops of it. You know what happens? The solution turns pink. Now to this I need to add few drops of dilute HCl. Please note down, the solution is pink now, dark pink, and upon adding dilute HCl, I am adding dilute HCl to this. Do you find that the color is slowly disappearing? The pink color is slowly disappearing and is turning colorless, right? Solution is absolutely colorless now. The pink color is completely disappeared. The pink color has completely disappeared. That is, the solution has turned colorless now. Now we need to add few drops of NaOH to this again. I am adding dilute NaOH to this again. Please note down the changes you observe on adding NaOH. The pink color is reappearing, right? The pink color is reappearing. Let me add few more drops of dilute sodium hydroxide to this. Yes, it's very interesting to observe that the pink color is reappearing, right? So upon adding few drops of NaOH to this, the pink color reappeared. So what do you observe in this, dear students? What is that you got to know out of this? What we did, initially we took some 2 ml of NaOH, and to that we added phenolphthalein indicator, and we know that phenolphthalein indicator gives pink color, dark pink color, because NaOH is base, and upon adding HCl it became colorless. That is, the activity of or the action of the base NaOH was nullified by HCl. HCl is an acid, NaOH is a base. So the action of base NaOH is nullified by HCl. That is the reason it turned colorless, because here is a question. Take about 2 ml of dilute NaOH, that is done. And what is the color of the solution? The solution turned pink. Add dilute HCl to the above solution drop by drop. We did it. Is there any change in color? Yes, it turned colorless. Turned colorless because the effect of base NaOH was nullified by acid, that is HCl. That is, here neutralization has taken place. The neutralization of NaOH and HCl, the neutralization reaction has taken place in this. Finally, after adding few drops of NaOH, does the pink color of the phenolphthalein reappear? Yes, the pink color reappeared. So this is all about the neutralization reaction. Acid reacting with base to form salt and water is termed as neutralization reaction. So how do you define it? Neutralization reaction is the reaction between acid and a base to give salt and water. Is termed as neutralization reaction. Let's quote some examples to this. Keeping this general equation, so retaining this general equation, we'll write few examples. First example, the very common and most commonly found example. HCl plus NaOH, that is what we did, will give rise to water, and the salt formed as NaCl. Sodium chloride salt is what will be formed, NaCl plus H2O. Let's try to mention the states. Aqueous, NaOH was also aqueous in nature, and the water liquid, whereas NaCl is aqueous. See whether the equation is balanced. Hydrogen is H1 and 1, 2, hydrogen is balanced, chlorine is also balanced, sodium is balanced, and finally oxygen is also balanced. Further, we'll write few more examples. We'll take H2SO4 acid, sulfuric acid. Upon reacting with sodium hydroxide, what salt does it give? Could you guess the salt we obtain here? It's obvious that we obtain water, and we need to guess the salt. H2O, and after this the salt obtained is sodium sulfate, Na2SO4, sodium sulfate. Further, we'll write one more example, taking HNO3, that is nitric acid, and also we'll take some other base KOH instead of NaOH. Can you complete the equation? H2O is known to us, and check what salt we obtain out of this. HNO3 plus KOH gives rise to H2O, and the salt obtained is potassium nitrate. Potassium is K, nitrate is NO3. Potassium nitrate. You can try out taking some other acid and other bases. You can write this equation in a similar manner, taking some other acids and bases. So it's simple. Acid reacting with base gives rise to salt and water, and this is what is referred to as neutralization reaction. And in the activity, we observed that the action of base was nullified by hydrochloric acid. Action of base, the base was NaOH, was nullified by the acid HCl. So further, we will see how metallic oxides react with acids. Check out whether the equations we wrote, whether all the equations are balanced. If they aren't balanced, you need to balance them. So further, we will understand how do metallic oxides react with acids. Metal oxide, upon reaction with the acids, gives rise to salt and water. We'll write down few examples, and here is a activity mentioned, and in this activity we are supposed to take some amount of copper oxide and add dilute hydrochloric acid slowly to that. We'll write a equation related to this. The equation goes like this. Okay, metallic oxide, CuO. What is CuO? Copper oxide in its solid form. We need to add some hydrochloric acid in its aqueous state to this. We know that from the general equation we got to know that a salt will be formed, and along with that water is formed. And guess what salt is this? CuCl2. Copper chloride is the salt obtained. Water in its liquid state, whereas this is in its aqueous state. What is this? Copper chloride, CuCl2. And what was the metallic oxide? CuO is copper oxide. Copper is a metal, copper oxide is CuO. So from this, all we got to know is metallic oxides react with acids to form salt and water, to form the respective salt and water. Check whether it is balanced. Copper is balanced, oxygen also looks balanced. Whether hydrogen and chlorine, to balance them I need to put 2 here. Is this right? So this is all about the reaction of metallic oxide with acids. Students, from this equation, what we can conclude is, you can compare this equation with the equation that we wrote before, that is acids or base plus acid gives rise to salt plus water. That is the neutralization reaction. This equation also looks like this, right? The equation, that is the action of metallic oxides with acid gives rise to salt and water. You compare this equation with the neutralization reaction equation, that is acids reacting with base gives salt and water. We find so many common things. This is an acid and here is an acid. From this, what you can conclude is metallic oxides are basic in nature. Could we write that? Metallic oxides, the nature of metallic oxides. I am discussing about the nature of metallic oxides. Metallic oxides are basic in nature. Metallic oxides are basic in nature. Please note it down and underline this in your textbook. Further, we'll understand the reaction of non-metallic oxides with base. What happens when non-metallic oxides react with base? Non-metallic oxides, upon reacting with the base, they also yield salt and water. They also yield salt and water, and we'll write few equations related to this. Here we take non-metallic oxides. The non-metallic oxide, we'll write few examples. CO2 is a non-metallic oxide. Carbon is a non-metal, right? Carbon is a non-metal and its oxide is CO2. It is as simple as this. Plus base, we'll take a base NaOH, we'll consider NaOH here. It also yields salt and water. The salt obtained is Na2CO3 plus water. Please check it out and see if the equation is balanced. Carbon is balanced, oxygen is 2 plus 1 3, and here is 3 plus 1 is 4. So need to balance sodium as well. I'll put 2 here, and now the equation looks balanced, right? So shall we quote another example? Taking CO2 as a non-metallic oxide, and I'll change a base here. I'll take CaOH twice. Hope you know the names of these reactants and product. CO2 is carbon dioxide, this is sodium hydroxide. Na2CO3 is sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate and water. We'll write one more example. That is the same equation. We'll change the base here. The base here I take is calcium hydroxide, CaOH twice. So we find calcium carbonate is formed and water is formed. CaOH twice is calcium hydroxide, and CaCO3 is, you know the name of this product, that is calcium carbonate. Check whether it is balanced. I think we need to balance the equation. Carbon is balanced. Oxygen, 2 plus 2 is 4. Oxygen is balanced. Calcium is also balanced. So hydrogen is 2 and 2. Yeah, it is balanced. It is a balanced equation. We need not balance it further. From this equation, again you compare this equation with the neutralization reaction equation. What happened here? Acid plus base gives rise to salt and water, right? And here there are so many common things we can note down. With this, can we conclude non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature? Non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. So please note it down and underline in your textbook. Non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. So students, in today's class we learned so many things about acids and bases, their reaction, and the reaction of acids and bases with metals, reaction of acids with metal hydrogen carbonates, metal carbonates, and so on. I'll write a kind of flow chart related to the reaction of these many things with acids, and you can continue the same for bases as well. reaction of acid first of all, we learned how acids react with metals. They produce salt and hydrogen gas, right? Further, we understood how do they react with the metal carbonates. With metal carbonates, they yield salt, water and carbon dioxide gas. Is this clear to you? Further, we saw how do acids react with base. Acids reacting with base yield salt and water. This is supposed to be the neutralization reaction. And yeah, if we go to write this, first we'll write metal hydrogen carbonate. The same, the product remains the same with metal bicarbonate or metal hydrogen carbonates. Salt plus water plus CO2. With base, we found that salt and water is formed, and finally with the metallic oxides. With metallic oxides, acids form salt and water. Is this clear to you? You can extend the same to bases. You can take down reaction of base with so many things. Bases do not react with metal carbonates and metal bicarbonates. Did you notice this? While understanding the activity of acid with metal carbonates and metal bicarbonates, we got to know that acids, upon reacting with metal carbonates and metal bicarbonates, form salt, water and carbon dioxide. But we did not mention what happens when bases react with metal carbonates and metal bicarbonates. Actually, when bases react with metal carbonates and metal bicarbonates, we don't find any formation of products, that is, we don't find any chemical reaction taking place there, because metal carbonates and metal bicarbonates are also bases. So, bases reacting with bases, we don't observe any chemical reaction taking place there. Is this clear to you? So, what you will write? Metal carbonates or metal hydrogen carbonates plus bases, no reaction. So, try this dear students. Let's wind up the session. I'll meet you in the next class. Thank you.